A man that looks like a tree, an old lady with animal-like horns, and a woman with eyes popping out of her eye sockets. Today we're going to take a look at 10 people with rare body features. Stay tuned until the end of the video for some really weird stuff. Number 10. Tree Man. An Indonesian carpenter named Deed Kosarak suffered from epidermoplasia verruciformis. This rare disease caused the human papillomavirus to develop, resulting in warts across his body that resembled tree bark. He was born as a healthy baby and had a normal childhood before warts appeared around his injuries. Slowly, these warts began to develop all over his body. Deed, unable to afford medication for his illness, tried to live his life as normally as possible. He married when he was 18 years old and had 2 children. Because of his warts, he couldn't work, and his wife divorced him and took custody of the children. He received criticism from the people around him for having an unknown disease for most of his life. Deed Kaswara was featured in the TLC series My Shocking Stories in the episode Half Man, Half Tree in November 2007. At the age of 44, Deed died at the Hasan Sadikin Hospital in Bandung, Indonesia on January 30th, 2016 from a series of health issues related to his disease. Number 9. Mermaid Girl. Shiloh Pepin was the only living mermaid in the world. Shiloh's legs were conjoined, giving them the appearance of a mermaid tail. This was caused by a rare congenital fetal anomaly known as sirenomelia, which is also mermaid syndrome. She had no bladder, uterus, or rectum, only 6 inches of the large colon, and only 1/4 of a kidney. A TLC reality documentary in Extraordinary People, Mermaid Girl, featured Shiloh and her life with the mermaid syndrome. Despite having her legs fused, she's always maintained a positive attitude. She hadn't led an everyday life, but she never lost her optimistic demeanor. She also learned to swim by the age of 8, making her a true mermaid. Sadly, Shiloh was only able to live till the age of 10 because of this syndrome. Number 8. Superhuman Skier. Eero Montaranta, born November 20th, 1937, was a Finnish Olympic ski champion. His unusual condition was caused by a mutation in the erythropoietin receptor gene, which gave him a superhuman endurance. This does sound like the start of a superhero story. His body enabled him to carry 50% more oxygen in his bloodstream than an average human can. Since these cells shuttle oxygen from the lungs to the body tissues, Montaranta's muscles got more of the oxygen they needed for aerobic exercise so that he could ski faster for longer. This mutation was the primary reason he was excelling in his sport. Number 7. Rubber Boy. Daniel Browning Smith, also known as the Rubber Boy, is an American contortionist, dancer, television host, comedian, sports entertainer, and stuntman who holds the title of the most flexible person in history. This American young man can bend backwards and forwards, dislocate his arms and legs, and turn his trunk 180 degrees, while most of us fail to touch our toes or sit cross-legged. Daniel was featured in several television shows due to his popularity, and he even performed in several NBA halftime shows. Daniel may be the ideal choice for the role of Mr. Fantastic in Fantastic Four. Number 6. Birthmark Girl. Touching anyone with a birthmark is considered exceptionally fortunate in European mythology. If the legends are real, we have found our Lady Luck. Marika Nagy was born with a congenital melasenic nevus, a rare genetic disorder that caused birthmarks to cover 60% of her skin. She was bullied at school because of her appearance, and it took her 6 years of counseling to deal with her life. In 4 years, Marika has established herself as a good model, and her birthmarks have not impeded her life. She is shot for a variety of clients, including Tiz & Tonic, a German underwear company. Number 5. Torture King. Time Cridland, also known as the Zamora the Torture King, may sound like a devilish tormentor from hell, but he's known for torturing himself. Time has a fantastic ability to tolerate pain. This was caused due to mutations in the SCN9A gene, causing congenital insensitivity to pain. Zamora was a founding member of the Jim Rose Circus, where he amused audiences by performing painful feats. Fire eating, sword swallowing, body skewering, and electric shock are just a few of his stunts. As unpleasant as it might sound to us, it was merely a performance for him. Zamora had been featured in many TV shows such as Man vs. Weird, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and Stan Lee's Superhumans. Circus of the Scars, a biography of the Jim Rose Circus, and was co-authored by Zamora and Jan Greger. Number 4. Excess skin. Tom Tennant was born in 1993 in Southeast Australia, and what doctors discovered astounded them all because they had never seen anything like it before. He was born with enough extra skin to wrap around himself twice. This is what Tom's dad said. "When he came out, I was quite shocked. I didn't think a human or a little baby could ever look like that." Medical experts were baffled as to why this bizarre body feature existed in the first place. As a result, they spent time studying the skin phenomenon. According to researchers, Tom's account of hyaluronic acid, which is contained in the skin, was 100 times higher than average, which is also the case of Shar-Pei puppies. As Shar-Peis grow older, their levels of hyaluronic acid decrease, giving them more a natural skin appearance. Fortunately, Tom's situation is close to Parchee's, and the extra skin vanished when he was 11 years old. Number 3. Human horns. Zhang Rufang, a 101-year-old Chinese grandmother, went viral after being photographed with 2 horns on her forehead. Don't be alarmed, this is not a sign of the devil taking over humans. Instead, it's a form of skin tumor known as cutaneous horns. It's a scientific term for a conical projection above the skin surface. They're usually small and localized, but they can grow to be very large in rare cases. Zhang was not the only one who developed a skin tumor. In 1930, Robert Ripley brought the world's attention to a Manchurian farmer named Wang through a photograph taken by a Russian banker who sent it to Ripley. Unfortunately for Ripley, a picture would be the most he could hope for. Ripley spent years asking people who could track Wang down and bring him to America to receive an enormous reward. However, the horned farmer proved to be as elusive as a real unicorn, and he was never found. Number 2. Miss Longlegs. With her left leg measuring 135.2 centimeters and her right leg measuring 134.3 centimeters, this Texas teen set the world record for having the longest legs in the female category. She is currently a high school student, and as part of her high school volleyball team, she competed in the USA Volleyball Girls Junior National Champions, and we are confident she won. Her colossal stature has many practical ramifications in daily life. The teen would need to get custom-designed jeans and other pants made. She has a twin XL mattress in her room, and some cars won't suit her, yet she's happy with how she's adapted to it. Miss Longlegs are just a few inches away from being the world's tallest woman. Su Feng of China, who stands 7 feet 3 inches tall, currently holds the tallest woman on the planet. Mackie's current height is 6 feet 10 inches, with her legs accounting for 60% of her total height. Number 1. Pop-out eyes. She seems to appear like an average person until she pops her eyes out of her eye socket. When you see Kim Goodman in that state, you'll feel like she's looking at your soul. She holds the world record for the farthest eyeball protrusion by 12 millimeters. She now resides in Chicago, Illinois. Proptosis is the term for eyeball displacement or bulging eyes. After being struck in the head, she learned this ability, causing her eyes to pop out more than usual. Since that day, she's been able to pop them out on command and when she yawns. She appeared on David Letterman's Late Show because of her popularity. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we'll see you in the next episode of Stay Wise.